So if you see here, when I'm doing this comparison, right? Right now, whenever I'm trying to do a comparison, my both the objects are not ready to hold any values, which ends actually with the null pointer exception because my comparator is still null. I'm not able to do any kind of comparison where I'm actually ending up with an error. That is the reason I'm ending up with an error. So why actually we are ending up with an error? Because my comparator is not actually creating any kind of instance. It is always with an empty object. So how could I actually make this comparator work? What are the ways I can go? Because right now in your tree map, you have comparable class, right? So where this comparable comes from?
But we put data into the tree map, right? Actually, whatever the data in map, we just added.
No, right now we are still in first line. Where is the tree map getting created? Here. The comparator is null.
Yeah.
So right now my tree map got created, but my comparator is null.
Okay.
So how can I make my comparator assign? I need to create a tree map with the comparator.
Okay.
Okay. So whenever you don't have a tree map with comparator, it actually there's no use for you, because the only thing why do you go for tree map is to sort your data. When you're planning to sort your data and you don't have your constructor defined with the relevant sorter map, like basically the sorter comparators, then how does that work? So what do we need to do? So since that comes from the lang package, you have to explicitly say that my particular key or value are dependent on the comparable interface, or you have your own comparator, and then you pass that comparator reference here. Let's say, let me create class. Now here I say implements. Since it comes from lang package, I can just implement the comparable. And what should be the type T here?
Map key value type string.
Comparable will hold the actual object class which you're trying to do. Right? So basically, whatever Pojo class you're trying to do, that class is actually trying to implement that one. So since this particular class has the compare to method as overridden, you have to override here the logic of that. Let's say private employee ID and private string employee name. Let me have one constructor. Okay. So right now the compare to method has no logic. So what can I use here logic? Can I go with ID or can I go with name? What kind of compare to can I use here to evaluate the comparison for to achieve finally the sorting part?
Can go with employee ID.
Okay. So return, and what should I return here? So basically what I'm doing is I'm comparing the current object with the object I receive here. Okay. That is what I'm going to do. So what is the current object? We can get the current object from this dot empid. And what I'm going to compare it with?
One that is being passed.
So this is integer, right? So I'll just give equal to object dot employee ID. Since I don't have getters and setters, this issue. Okay. So I'm comparing the current object with this. Okay. Only if it equivalent, I need to return. But this one is returns a Boolean value. So do I need to convert it back to integer or not? So right now I'm giving like employee ID, and this employee ID has to be equivalent. If I give like this, it is not accepting because the equivalent works for a contract which returns only true or false. But I'm trying to return an integer value. So I need to perform some kind of operation. Either I need to add it or subtract it or any kind of things you wanted, right? You can do any kind of operation on this, and whatever it returns, that is the final value which I'm trying to hold on.
So you need to return 1 or 0. Right?
Sorry?
You need to return either 1 or 0.
Okay. So you missed this class earlier, the comparable?
But forgot something. If something is greater than 0,
We have three criteria: 0, greater than 0, lesser than 0. This we have these three possibilities to come up with. So whenever you have that equal sign, right, which ends up with 0 or with more than that, it's on a sorting as a positive sign. So where you can actually consider your sorting order. So if it is not consistent, we never go with the sorting order. So it basically returns a value of 0 and -1. Basically -1, 0 and 1. These would be the cases for your comparable cases. So the compare to method returns only 0, -1 or 1. The differences should be like this. So now I ask you a question. Equals method also does the same thing, right? It also compares and tell me it is true or false, right? The compare to is also doing the same thing, but it is returning me an integer value. So is there any difference between compare to and equals?
Equals will return only Boolean type, right? True or false actually.
Yeah, so let's say I have some dummy method. So now if I want to compare employee ID, okay, let's say this dot employee ID dot equals where I'm able to get it. If I'm not getting like this, let me get this dot get employee ID dot equals. Am I getting the equals method here?
No.
Let me say employee name. Am I getting equals here? So equals is basically like it can accept only the specific object structure. So it can accept any object only as a parameter, basically the equals. Okay, not any Boolean primitive types. You can take any object as your parameter to do the comparison. Okay, but right now in this case, this is not an object. This is a normal primitive type. Okay, we're doing a comparison on a primitive 2. Okay, that is the first difference. So internally, this can also take strings. Okay, it can also do comparison for strings, but it is not for objects. It can do for the other primitive types also. That is the first difference we'll be observing here. Equals of, I'm again taking some, let's say I'm doing a passing an object, employee EMP, doing comparison with EMP dot. So this returns me some kind of a Boolean value. Okay, so this is a kind of thing where your equals work on. What is compared to doing me? The equals will return me only the Boolean flag. Okay, it is going to compare two strings using equals method. But what is compare to is doing? Any idea?
Compared to, we can compare primitive types. So that's one point.
That it can do primitive types. Basically, it is not like it has to end up every time on equality. It can be in any phases. It can be in any things. Like it shouldn't be like every time positive. Only true or false. I'm not okay to give only the two sets. Instead, I'm trying to come up with some more thing as one more option of +1, -1, and 0. So I'm giving you a chance of identifying the equality with ranges -1 to 0 to 1. I'm okay to give a negative to positive range, and it shouldn't be in time with the equality of the strings. So that is the first thing I'm trying to understand here. Okay, so let's say now I have some object here, I'm doing it. What if I do that for a null object? So I'm getting get employee name dot equals of null. Okay, so what happens here? And same thing if I'm trying to do with compare to. Okay, and in the compare to, I'm passing again null. So what will this compare to return me here? This is going to return me an integer value. So if the argument is equal, a value less than 0, if the string is less than one string argument, the string is particularly greater than the argument, I'm trying to give a value of positive value. So here I'm checking the length of that particular string, and I'm not comparing it with any of the value or which I pass it from my test part, which I'm doing it. Where is it, employee? So here, when both the things will do the same thing, right? Let me call this dummy. So let me go here. Right now, what will this particular function return for me? Okay. What will this particular function return for me? You guys are there?
Yeah, we are there.
So
we
you
return
see this
to-
object. Right now, this object doesn't hold anything. It's empty, null. Because the object which I created, new employee, has nothing, no data. So it's empty. So now when I'm trying to do this comparison with emp.getName, I have passed an object of FFAD. So now a null is getting compared with equals. Okay. So what happens here? Will the equals still work, or it will end up with an exception?
End up with the exception, right? Because you said equals will compare only string actually. So
I haven't said equals will compare only strings. I said it can take any object. You see the equals will take any object. The string is a type of object. Okay, let me see.
Null pointer exception in this case.
Sorry?
We'll come up with we'll face null pointer exception in this case.
What
Trying
is-
to compare null with some object, right? So I think null pointer exception will come up.
Yeah, it throws a null pointer exception. Okay. So let's say instead of employee.getName, which is, let me reverse this. Okay. Instead of this, let me stop and reverse this part. Let me debug again. This time I didn't get any error. Why so? Even now the employee has some value. This dot get name has something as null, but earlier I was getting null pointer exception. This time it didn't throw me any null pointer exception. Why so? I just replaced it. The value which was null earlier was this time inside it, but earlier it was outside. So why didn't it work? And now it is working. See, right now this is again the same scenario. My null is inside. So if I do this case, I see null pointer exception at equals object. Whereas here, this dot employee name is still null. Okay. But it didn't throw me any error. But the same thing when I'm giving explicitly as null, it's actually planning to throw a null pointer exception. Let me give F6. It ended as a null pointer exception. So what happened in equals when it is actually explicitly passed as null? Let's not run this also. Let's not run this. Let's just run this and see what is the output at it. So I didn't get any exception. Instead, I got the value as false. Okay. Let me go again here, comment this out and run this one. Okay, right now this dot employee name holds what value? This dot get employee name. It holds null value. And I'm trying to compare that with emp.name. Okay, which has a value. Now, what should the situation be? It should again give me false, right?
So
Null
when
pointer. So what is actually happening in your case when you are throwing a null value outside? Why this is getting failed when a null is coming in front, and why not when it is inside? So how is actually equals method working? So whatever object you pass, it is actually comparing it, and then it is internally converting it to a string. Okay. So the equals is ready to accept any object that holds even null also. I'm okay, but internally I'm going to convert that back to a string. And then finally, I'm going to analyze that and compare and review value as true or false. So in your case, what happened? Employee.getName has a value. This dot get name doesn't have a value. So when I'm passing this equals, only the initial part, the employee with FFF will come here, and this will hold as null. So whenever you compare a null with an instance of string, that will not work because that is actually your current object. You're assigning your this with your current object. So when you're assigning that and comparing it and again typecasting back to string, null will not be taken as into a considered as a string part. So which always ends up with a null pointer exception. So that is the reason whenever you're trying to do an equals method comparison and you're not sure how the null pointer exception can occur here, what you have to do is any constant value. So sometimes there might be situations in your code where you're comparing like one dot equals to the value which you get from some system. Okay, so this is something you get from your object. So we always pass that object inside the things, and we have the fixed value outside. We never do this in the opposite way. You see, this dot get employee name was null. Okay, so though it was null, it didn't throw me any error because my static value was outside. The value which has the value was outside. But here the null is outside, which is not ready because your equals works on the initial value which you pass. So even if it is null, I'm not ready to do it. So the equals internally works only for string, which converts everything to string. Internally, all the comparison is working only on the string part. So where you are internally going and comparing on a string dot class method. Are you clear on this or you have any questions?
It's clear.
Okay, let's see now, let's go to the compare to method. How is actually the compare to method working? It's another string and it is not comparing anything. It's internally comparing only the minus. It's basically the length is being taken care. Okay, so let's do this one again. This is again going with a null pointer exception. So what if I do in the opposite? This time I give like this. emp.getName instead of this. Let me run it. You still get the null pointer exception. What if I pass this inside and I pass a null here? You still get null pointer exception. So the only thing which you can skip in case of equals is it doesn't consider whether your object is null or not if you have passed it within this particular part. But in case of compare to, it can't even evaluate your things. It has to be taken care as an explicitly as a relevant object type. Only then it can do. Okay. So now let's say emp. And here I have the null object. Okay, this is null. So I'm just passing it here. And in the compare to, I'm typecasting it to string. Okay, and let me run it again. It still shows null pointer exception. Let me debug this so I can show you the value which the compare to gives me. So you see a value here. So what is the value dot length here for you in case of the another string which you're passing? So the employee dot get employee has some value, right? So some value you have as this is a constant thing. Okay. So what is the length 1 and length 2 returning me here for this case which we are trying to do comparison here? What is the emp dot get employee name holds? This holds a value of ffafp. So what would be the length of this one? So in case of this dot get an employee name, even if I'm not doing this, okay, what would be the length of this dot get employee name? What will null hold any length? Will null hold any value here?
Anyway,
So there is something, a term called as lexicograph. Okay, so have you heard this name, lexicographs, in alphabets or in literature somewhere? Have you heard this word?
it's related to handwriting, right? So,
Yeah, so basically on your written things. So the strings are nothing but your written things, right? So in case of your compare to method, all your data is being compared lexicographically. Okay. Whereas in your equals method, it doesn't do anything on string comparison in depth. It just compares, is the value same or not? That's it. So if you see the comparable thing, if you see the compare to method, okay, all if the string is lexicographically less than the string argument and a value greater than, so everything is lexicographically compared. Basically you're comparing each and every position's length and then coming to a conclusion. Whereas in your equals method, you just see compare it using equal to. That's it. You just compare the entire data what you have in that string, and then you just compare whether that is equivalent, then you return true. Otherwise, if it's of instance of string type, again you compare it, but you're not going anywhere in the lexicography manner as you do in your, if you see this code, okay, so you're just comparing the value, okay, and then the other value, you're taking the array of values, you're comparing it, and you're returning it based on that particular one. If you see in case of compare to, you're not doing any kind of logic as you did in your equals method. What you're doing is you're lexicographically taking the length of first string, the length of second string, and you're calculating each and every positions of each value which you're fetching it out, and then finally coming up with a conclusion, and then giving you an accurate value of an integer of either it's -1 or 0 or 1. So where you're actually more dependent on the string position and value. So when do we go for such scenarios of compare to? So example, you have a dictionary book. Okay, you have say abate, and you also have abuse. Okay, so when these two words need to be compared and you wanted to sort it in an order, you can do it immediately using compare to method, because you know each and every position value is getting calculated lexicographically, basically like on the alphabetical order. So basically on your sorting purpose, we can go for compare to. Whereas if you want to just compare abate is equivalent to abuse, then you can go with equals method. That's it. So if you want to do a comparison and you wanted to sort this in a particular order, then you have to go with compare to method. Any questions on this? Like when to go for compare to and when to go for equals? And whenever you follow this particular logic, right, ensure that your null object is always within the equals method. Okay, so that you never end up with null pointer exception. If in case if you are not sure what this object would be and something runtime object, and if you just hold this in front of your equals part, because you're working on this object, right? So right now EMP has some data and I'm okay to perform an equals object. So I'm not ending up null pointer exception. But if this object itself is null, I'll not be able to perform equals operation. I end up with null pointer exception. So always, whenever you're taking any piece of code and you're working on, ensure that the object which is before your equals method is holding a value or not. If it is not holding, ensure that to do a null check, like EMP is dot get name not equal to null, then you perform the relevant object. If this object is null, then you might end up with a null pointer exception. So the minor changes which as a developer we miss is like, we know equals will do comparison and will end up with a positive result. But we forget that are we handling the null checks or not? Because your code is actually looking good. You're doing the same comparison. As a technical person, I'm good with this. But there are scenarios where your employee object might be null too. So you might have forgotten this null check. So you always end up with null pointer exception. We can't identify unless you go through that piece of code. If you're having like 1,000 lines of code, you forget to come up and understand where exactly you missed it when you're initially developing. After that, you have your stack trace and you do it everything, but you never understand where exactly I'm getting null pointer exception unless you know that your equals can't work on null object. This is a basic understanding. On null object, you can't perform a equals operation. Okay, so are we good till here? You have any questions or anything to be more detail on the comparable compared to method?
Okay for me till now.
Okay, so let's say to understand more better, I'll just take a small sample. String A equal to ABC and string B equal to ABC. Okay, and let's say string C equal to ABC. Now, let me do a comparison. A dot compare to of B. So what would be the value here? You can tell me the comparison lexicographically, you can compare and tell me. A and B both are having same value. So what will be the compared to value in this case? Can someone say what would be the value here? Janaki, A dot compare to of B. What
If it is
what
same,
would
it would be 0.
0. Okay. In case of A dot compared to of C, what could be the value for?
+1.
Anything with a negative thing or a positive thing, positive value or 0?
It would be negative -1 because A is
-1, sure. Kiruba, your perspective on this? You compare to C.
I think it will be negative value. Not sure if it will be -1, but it will be negative.
Let me run this one. Okay. So if you see, initially the A and B value are same. So you got a value of 0. Now, when you're comparing the A to the C value, what is the difference you have? You're comparing this one with this particular one. So basically ABC dot compare to of C. So when comparing, B position is not available in C. So where exactly you end up with a negative value. Same thing when I'm doing C over A, I got a positive value because my string is already higher with a higher positive thing. And when I'm comparing it, I get a difference, but it's not a negative side. It is more of a positive side. Okay, if I need to compare this right now. So right now, the current position, this and this ABC are present. Let's say now the C is with ABCD. I'm going back again. So right now, what would be the length of ABCD? What would be the length of ABC? Can someone say?
Would be 3 for ABC. Of ABC would be 4.
So the length one would be 4 and this would be 3. So 4 minus 1, it ends up with a positive. Earlier it was 3 minus 4, right? So it ended up with minus 1. So which ended up with minus 1. And when this happened, it was like it is started comparing with the higher value C4. And then you're doing the comparison, which ended up with a positive value. So your compare to helps in sorting your data set. Okay, so your tree map internally uses this compare to perform your sorting for your map object and then come up with the final sorted result set. Like any questions so far on the compare to method? Like, are you clear till now on why we do compare to? Why not equals method?
Yeah, it's clear.
Okay. So you know where to use null object and where not to, and what is the difference, right? So now we can go ahead with tree map, maybe in tomorrow's class. Till now, are we clear on this map and the usage of compare and equals? Any other questions or something else to be covered on the comparable or compared to part? And how are we going to implement the comparable is like basically in all your object class, you just need to implement that class and override the compared to method with the logic which you wanted.
So this logic can be based on any number of
Yeah, any number of arguments. It doesn't have, right now I have it in and just made it same thing. It can be any long or it can be a big decimal or it can be anything. You can write your own logic to do your comparison. So, and then you can get the final result. It doesn't has to be always only one attribute. It can be multiple attributes or any kind of operation on top of it. It can be anything. Now, basically like how you write your hash code method, same way this will also be taken care. How efficient you write, that efficient the compare to works for you on doing your sorting thing. Janaki, you have any questions?
No, Sneha. But I'll rewatch the videos once, that last part.
Okay, yeah, sure. I'll upload right away. So you can watch it and you let me know if you have any questions. Tomorrow, we'll see the tree map and we start with the sorting, which Kirba mentioned, right? The sorting algorithms, the doubt on the different type of sortings and the complexity. We'll see that also because we're already on the sorting part. So we can cover up that too. So in that case, your complexity would be covered up for sorting. So the other thing, linked hash map and the threading part, where you go for multi-threading for concurrent hash map, that can also be covered. So in that case, your queries on comparable, comparator, sorting and collections would be taken care. Apart from that, did you ask anything else to cover for revision?
No, Sneha.
Janaki and Kirba, like apart from that, did you ask anything else? Sorting is one more thing which is pending. It's a huge topic. Anyway, like tomorrow we'll start on that. And apart from that, anything else? I don't remember. I remember comparable, comparator, collections, sorting algorithms. Did you have mentioned anything else?
Yeah, I think Janaki had mentioned about
I asked like a buffer
string
read actually. Just,
Okay, IO streams, right? Okay.
Just a glance of that IO buffer.
Yeah, that can be taken. Yeah. So basically on sorting algorithms, we'll complete by tomorrow.
Okay, Sneha.
Have a good day. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.